Photosynthesis is the process through which plants make energy in the form of the carbohydrate glucose. The overall chemical reaction for photosynthesis is 6CO2 plus 6H2O yields glucose plus 6O2. This occurs through two types of reactions, light-dependent and light-independent reactions. Photosynthesis occurs in the chloroplast of the plant cells.
Oh my gosh, Ashley. Did you see Olivia yesterday? She had the exact same sparkly Uggs on that I had on. I mean, I can't even. Sparkly Uggs are my thing. I can't believe her.
Oh my gosh, what's wrong with her?
I know, right?
Did you know that 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance?
Yeah, everybody knows that.
Well, did you know that in photosynthesis, the Calvin cycle has to run 6 times just to get 1 molecule of glucose?
The chloroplast is a small green structure found in the cytoplasm of plant cells. Chlorophyll is the major photosynthetic pigment found in the thylakoid membrane in the chloroplast. Thylakoids are represented by Hershey's drops.
Yeah.
The area inside the thylakoids is called the lumen. Chloroplasts are green because they do not absorb and thus reflect green light. The visible light that chlorophyll does not absorb is used to power the light-dependent reactions that occur in the thylakoid. The dark reactions, or the Calvin cycle, occurs in the space around the thylakoids, known as the stroma.
The photosynthetic electron transport chain begins with water and light. Water molecules enter photosystem 2, where electrons are broken off from the hydrogens by energy gained from light. While in PS2, the Z-scheme occurs, or zigzag path of light energy through the antenna chlorophylls that results in an increase in energy of the electrons. Where the light energy meets the electron is known as the reaction center, and it puts the electron in an excited state. From the PS2, the electron enters the cytochrome B6F complex, where small mobile compounds carry the electrons through the lumen and into photosystem 1. S1 energizes electrons with a second input of light so that the electrons can reduce NADP+. This process is catalyzed by the ferredoxin NADP reductase and has the end product of NADPH. The electron transport chain enables ATP synthase to produce ATP. ATP synthase is powered by hydrogen ions. Hydrogen ions are made available in the lumen from the split of water in the PS2 into oxygen, H+ ions, and electrons. Hydrogen ions are also pumped into the lumen via the plastoquinons and cytochrome complexes. This creates a high concentration of H+ ions in the lumen. The hydrogen ions can then be used to power ATP synthase. At ATP synthase, ADP meets a phosphate to form ATP. Both ATP and NADPH are needed in the Calvin cycle.
The Calvin cycle is a light-independent reaction that occurs in the stroma of the chloroplast. The Calvin cycle is divided into 3 steps: carboxylation, reduction, and regeneration. During carboxylation, a molecule of CO2 is added to the compound ribulose 1,5 biphosphate. The addition is catalyzed by rubisco. Rubisco is one of the slowest enzymes, therefore cells must make a lot of it for this reaction to occur. When ribulose 1,5 biphosphate and CO2 bind to rubisco's active site, it transforms into 3-PGA. Rubisco doesn't provide a large energy increase, so NADPH reduces the carbon compound 3-PGA. The ATP first phosphorylates 3-PGA, and then NADPH gives it its 2 high-energy electrons. The carbon compounds result in GAP and its isomer DHAP, which are known as triose phosphates. They are the products of the Calvin cycle, and some are exported into the cytoplasm. The last step of the Calvin cycle is regeneration. The 3 carbon triose phosphate molecules that didn't get exported to the cytoplasm must be reorganized into ribulose 1,5 biphosphate. This requires the ATP. From there, the cycle is allowed to run again with the original carbon molecule, RUBP. After 6 cycles of the Calvin cycle, 1 molecule of glucose is produced.
Number 44.
Woo! 44, that's me! Get some cold cuts, get some cold cuts, get some cold cuts,